Cutting marketing, this is a big point, and this gets to your question essentially. I think it's your question. Cutting marketing during recessions can lead to significant long-term disadvantages. The data shows brands that stop advertising see sales fall 16% after 1 year. Can't not advertise, but you also have the money to advertise. So who gets cut? Do you cut human beings as your employees because it's not endless money? Do you invest more in marketing and spend less on product development? You spend more in marketing and spend less on opening new stores. You know, the big choices that have to get made. Opportunity. There are many people who think there's an opportunity. Again, this reinforces what we just said. Studies show brands that went dark during economic downturn saw brand decrease 24% and brand image decrease 28%. Research indicates that companies that increase advertising spending during recessions achieve double the market share gains of those who only modestly increase. Now, there are a lot of reasons for that, and some of the brands that spend more because they realize that they're a better option. Bud beer may be a better option right now in America. And if I was Bud, I'd spend more on advertising because imported beer, Heineken, is going to cost a fortune. So they shouldn't go dark, although they're going to be tariffed on their export. A couple examples of successful approaches. Kellogg doubled their advertising during the Great Depression back in the 30s, way back. And competitor Post, which was another big cereal company, cut back. Kellogg's became the industry leader. Post is kind of, they're still around, but they're not. Kellogg's cornflakes, cornflakes became in the Depression like the go-to because it was cheap and it was filling and healthier. McDonald's experienced a 28% sales decline during the 1990 recession after cutting advertising, while Pizza Hut and Taco Bell made steady and saw sales increase by 40%. And then finally, we talked about this. Netflix offered an affordable engagement alternative during the 2008 recession, which resulted in 57% growth, while traditional competitor Blockbuster lost all that money. Was it because of the recession or because technology changed? Hard to tell. But I know I would be advertising more if I was Netflix right now because it's a cheap day or a cheap night. It's like we're going to watch Netflix instead of go to movies. Okay, cool. This is an ad from 2001, crisis kind of based that this came right after 9/11. So another example of sort of a historical crisis where people were scared and anxious. And this is how GM responded.
This country keeps rolling. It's not about to slow down, and neither are we. Interest-free financing from GM continues from now through January 2nd on most new cars, trucks, and SUVs. One country, one way. Keep America rolling.
So, low interest rates. We're going to keep you all in. We're going to get you in the cars. What was the concept here, do you think, in the light of 9/11? Anyone?
Bueller.
What do you think they were trying? But yeah, keep rolling. Stick with it. We got this. You may see some of that messaging. So what are the key lessons? There were a couple other ads, but I must cut them. Address consumer fears directly, like don't pretend it's not happening. Say, we're with you, we feel you. That's why we're giving you no interest for 6 months on your car. Adjust the tone to match the moment. This gets to what we were talking about before, about being kind of out of touch, like super luxe and super elegant may not be the right vibe right now because it feels out of touch as people are going to pay. Focus on value without sacrificing the brand position. Focus on value without sacrificing brand position. So you don't want to sell yourself short after you spent 40 years building Audi as a great brand. All of a sudden, start saying, "Well, we're not as expensive as BMW." I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. Look for innovation opportunities. Introduce a new product. If you're, an expensive, okay, if you're Shake Shack and all your burgers are double patties, right? Even your basic one. Oh, I went to Hi-Ho against the Hi-Ho. Same thing. They only do doubles. Well, introduce a single, and make it $7 instead of $11. Is that innovation? In this case, it is. Adjust it. Connect authentically with community concerns and avoid opportunistic messaging. Almost so much of this is similar to the CSR, and that's why I'm linking the two together. Social responsibility stuff, like with Keats, they're not all the same, but especially avoid being opportunistic. If you come off as being insensitive, it's going to hurt.